Hey there! What is going on, people? Welcome back to my Vault Hunters 1.18 starter guide. Today, I'm going to be talking about how the new tools and magnets actually work, as well as explaining the new changes to the jewel system. Now that that's out of the way, let's begin. First off, all pickaxes and jewels that were made before Update 7 Alpha can still be used, however, you can no longer make them or repair them. Also, the Immortal Jewel modifier no longer works, so if you had it on an old pickaxe, it's no longer immortal. And secondly, the tool vise serves no function to the new tools, and it is now replaced by the tool station. The tool station is going to be the place where you actually craft your tools. It can be crafted with 3 chromatic iron ingots, 4 driftwood, and a crafting table. Now earlier, I said tools instead of pickaxes, and that is because we are no longer limited to just pickaxes. On top of pickaxes, we have shovels and axes, as well as 2 new tools, the hammer and the sickle. Now I'm pretty sure you all know what a pickaxe, a shovel, and an axe does, but these 2 tools are just a little bit different. The hammer will mine all blocks in a 3x3 area with the exception of stone and all of the variants, in which it will mine the 3x3 area but not drop any of the blocks. And the sickle acts like a pair of shears, allowing the collection of stuff like leaves and cobwebs. As for the actual vault tools, there are now 7 different types as opposed to the 5 different types of vault pickaxes from before. Each type of vault tool requires more materials, and they are also gated behind a vault level requirement. At level 0, you can only craft chromatic iron tools. At level 20, you can craft chromatic steel tools. Level 35, you can craft vaulterite tools. Level 50, you get melded tools. Level 65 is black chromatic steel tools. Level 80 is echoing tools, and level 90 is prismatic tools. All of these tools have the same amount of durability, however each tool has an extra repair slot than the one before it. Another thing you can see is the capacity amount increases by 50 with each different type of tool. Now, what the hell is capacity? Well, it's something I can only explain by talking about jewels, so let's talk about those. So as I've said before, the old jewels can no longer be made, however the new jewels can be crafted in the Vault Forge with Vault Bronze, Wutodic Silver Ingots, and some gemstones. They can also be found inside of the vaults, specifically in gilded chests and treasure chests, and there's a chance for getting them from vault completion crates as well. Unlike vault gear, you do not get any proficiency percentage by crafting them, which means you will not lower the proficiency percentages of other vault gear by crafting a jewel. All jewels can be put into the Vault Recycler to get some gemstones, silver scrap, and wood to dye back. Now, not all jewels are created equal. They can be one of 4 qualities, which are chipped, flawed, flawless, or perfect, with the chipped jewel being the worst and the perfect jewel being the best. Similarly to vault gear rarities, the higher the quality of the jewel, the more prefixes and suffixes are on it, up to a maximum of 4 modifiers. How good a jewel is not determined by just the quality of it, you also have to look at its size, otherwise known as the implicit of a jewel. The size of a jewel is the amount that is subtracted from the capacity of a vault tool when the jewel is added onto it. So I have this flawed jewel that is size 42, and I have this chromatic iron pickaxe that has a capacity of 100. If I take these two and combine them in an anvil, you can see that leaves 58 capacity on the pickaxe. This means that the smaller the jewel size, the better it is, because you can add even more jewels onto your tools. Just a little thing though, if the jewel's size is larger than the remaining capacity on a pickaxe, you will not be able to add it at all. Now, the final thing that makes up a jewel is the prefixes and the suffixes. Prefixes are made up of the affinity jewels and the utility jewels. So these affinity jewels allow you to mine the different types of chests in the vault as long as you have the corresponding affinity jewel on your tool. Before Update 7 Alpha, each of the vault chests had a different tool you had to use in order for it to break. For example, wooden chests required an axe and gilded chests required a pickaxe. That is no longer the case. Now, you need to have the affinity for the chest on your tool in order for it to break quickly. As you can see here, I'm in the vault, and I have this chromatic iron axe that doesn't have wooden affinity. When I go to break this wooden chest right here, you can see that it is extremely slow. Now, if I switch to this chromatic iron sickle that does have wooden affinity, you can see it breaks pretty fast. It doesn't matter what tool you use, it could be a shovel, a sickle, a hammer, as long as you have the proper affinity, it will break easily. So that was affinity jewels. Next are the utility jewels. The utility jewels allow you to change the properties of your vault tools. If I take this chromatic iron sickle, which normally can only break stuff that shears can, and then I take this axing jewel here, and then combine them in an anvil, we get a chromatic iron machete. Now, not only can I break leaves, but I can also cut down these trees just like so. But we can take this a step further. If I add the shoveling jewel to the machete, it then turns into a cleaver. And then if I add the picking jewel to the cleaver, it turns into a reaper. Now, I am able to break any material in the game with this one tool. Now, if you watched my Vault Gear Starter Guide video, you'd have a pretty good idea of what the smelting jewel and the pulverizing jewel do. Which I want to quickly say thank you all for watching that. Holy shit, I don't even know how I got 350 views, just like that. It's crazy. Anyways, if you didn't watch my Vault Gear video, the smelting jewel will smelt any item that you mine if possible. For example, stone will turn into smooth stone when mined. And the pulverizing jewel will pulverize any item that you mine if possible. For example, gravel will then turn into sand. So that's all of the prefixes. Let's cover suffixes. The suffixes on a vault tool work very similarly to Vault Gear modifiers, as well as the upgrades from the old pickaxe system. I'll leave a link down in the description to the Vault Hunters community document that explains what every single jewel does, but you got your basic upgrades such as extra durability, faster mining speed, and longer reach. You also have these fairly self-explanatory jewels such as trap disarm chance, item rarity, and item quantity. However, these two jewels, the vanilla immortality and the hammer size jewel, are just a little bit more unique. While a vault tool has less than 100% vanilla immortality, the percentage serves as the chance that the tool will not take durability damage whenever it breaks a block outside of the vault. After the vault tool has reached 100% vanilla immortality, it will not take any durability damage when outside of the vault, no matter what. The +1 hammer size jewel will, as long as you have the hammering property on your vault tool, increase that 3x3 area to a 5x5 area. The hammering size jewels also stack, meaning with a +2 hammer size, you can make it a 7x7 area. So that was everything about jewels. Let's move on to our final topic for today, which is magnets. Magnets have been reworked a slight bit. So similarly to jewels, you can now find them in the vaults, but instead of gilded chests, you find them in ornate chests. You can now also craft them in the Vault Forge, and they are now considered a piece of vault gear, meaning they have 5 rarities from Scrappy to Omega, and the higher the rarity means the more modifiers you can put on them. Because they get all the benefits of a vault gear piece now, they also have a proficiency percentage section in the Vault Forge. Now, I'm not going to name all of the different modifiers you can get on a magnet here. Instead, you should go and check out the Vault Hunters community document for all that good stuff. Honestly, the community document should sponsor me at this point from how many times I've endorsed it. But anyways, the magnet modification table has also been stripped of its uses, just like the tool vise. The Vault Artisan Station is the place where you'll be upgrading your magnets from now on. Just a word of caution though, scrappy rarity magnets don't have any prefixes or suffixes, meaning using a wild focus on them will just be a waste of materials because there's nothing to reroll. One last change to magnets. Before update 7, magnets would use mana whenever they picked up an item. This is no longer the case. Now they don't use any mana, which means you can keep using your vault abilities more often. And with that, I believe that is everything you need to know about the new vault tools, jewels, and magnets. If you found this video helpful in any way, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe. That big video I mentioned a while back is still on the way, so make sure you stick around for that. But anyways guys, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later. See ya.